Good. Okay. Thank you for your patience, everyone. And we're going to call this meeting to order. Let's start with roll call.
Trustee Colin.
Here.
Trustee Flanders.
Here.
Trustee Lyons.
Here.
Trustee Miller.
Here.
And Trustee Ruiz.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. And now, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Ruiz, and second?
Second, Miller.
President Flanders, may I make?
I was just going to call on you.
Okay, thank you. I would like to pull item from the action item 2C, please, to bring back for further consideration with a revised job description.
Okay, so then can I have a motion to accept the agenda with the exception of human resource 2C? Okay, and a second?
I'll second, Miller.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Brenda. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. Paul, you have someone for us?
Alex from Falcon.
Still down. Thank you, Alex. Okay, we do have a report out of closed session. That's why we were a little bit late. So first I want to start by thanking the family, the Brea family. The public, because we have been going through a superintendent search process and we're in the middle of it. And we put out a huge survey. Our leadership's associates did, our firm that we've chosen. And this was just really impressive. And the board and I discussed it upstairs, and we would like to report out some of the data that we have gotten from that. We want the community to know that every single piece of that data has been looked at and used and will continue to be used and shared in due time. But for right now, I'd like to share some of the data that was collected. First of all, on the front of the report, and many of you, if you were part of the survey, especially online, might have actually read the purpose of the survey. So I want to read that part real quick. The data collected is foundational for the board in the development of interview questions and discussions with the finalists. The report and collected data will be provided to the finalists selected to be the next superintendent of our school district. There were over 35 sessions and over 10 days that were created and attended. There were 125 meetings by either phone, in person, on Zoom. There were 1,548 unduplicated responses online in 3 different languages. There was 116 pages of input. And I want to tell you that the leadership associates told me that for years, they can't even think back to when they had 116 pages to put together of input. And we're a small district compared to some they service. So that's real impressive. In fact, their words were, it speaks volumes to the pride and involvement that our public has in our district and our kids. The only last thing I'm going to read out to you right now is just to give you an idea of who filled out the surveys, who was in the meetings. So out of the parent group, we had 1,146 English speakers, 17 Spanish, and 80 Korean. From our student group, 47 English, 2 Spanish, and 13 Korean. From our community members, we had 308 English, 1 Spanish, and 13 Korean. From our teacher population, we had 198 teachers out of 287. Are you jealous up there, Glenda? She puts out surveys all the time. 1 teacher in Spanish and 14 in Korean. We had, out of our classified employees, we had 137, 3 Spanish and 2 Korean. Out of our administrators, 31 English, 1 Spanish, and 2 Korean. Out of our certificated other, 47 English, 1 Spanish, and 2 Korean. Out of our school volunteers, we had 143 English, 1 Spanish, 6 Korean. Out of our public officials, we had 19 English, 1 Spanish, 3 Korean. Out of our business owners and partnerships, 61 English, 1 Spanish, 1 Korean. Out of our nonprofit clubs and boards, we had 30 English, 1 Spanish, 1 Korean. And the last one was other. And out of our other population, we have 24 English, 1 Spanish, and 0 Korean. So I just wanted to share that data, and we'll look forward to finding a time when that can, with permission, be put on our website. So with that, that's my report from closed session. Let's move to our student reports. We do not have Brea Canyon tonight, but let's start with our Brea Junior High School, Elizabeth and Layla. Come on down, girls, and take that camera away.
Good evening, school board members. Layla and I are very excited to be back to update you guys about activities and events happening around the BJH campus.
Basketball season is going great, with the boys being undefeated 5-0 and the girls 4-1. It looks like both teams are headed to semifinals.
We are proud to report that Academic Pentathlon had their last competition for this year on March 8th and lasted for a week and a half. They have been doing great and we are so proud of them.
And our robotics team is preparing for their competition at BOHS on Saturday, April 30th. And so far, they've placed in the top 11, so we hope they continue that and we wish them best of luck.
Choir has attended 3 competitions this year and they have one tomorrow on April 8th. We are so proud of how well they have been doing. Tomorrow they attend the Burroughs Music Showcase, and then their spring show is on May 19th, 20th, and 21st.
The band has been doing outstanding this year, as the concert band and orchestra have attended 2 concert festivals on March 22nd and March 30th and have done amazing. They were judged by 3 music education experts, and both groups received the highest possible rating. The next band concert is at the Pops concert on May 16th, orchestra, and May 17th for band, and we hope to see you all there.
Thursday, March 31st and Friday, April 1st were our 6th grade visits. They started in the auditorium watching some performances from cheer, choir, drama, play production, and more. ASB took them on a tour around the campus, which included an elective fair where 6th graders could see some of BJH's electives and have an idea of what they want to take next year. We are so excited for our incoming 7th graders.
Last week was also campaigning week for ASB elections. 8th graders voted Tuesday and 7th graders voted Wednesday. We'll find out the results tomorrow and we'll let you know our new officers at our next meeting.
This month brings even more fun, some of which has already started. Last Friday, April 1st was our Pride Party, where students who have shown excellent behavior at school got rewarded with popsicles and some afternoon fun.
This week, ASB has been selling friendship grams that students can write a card to a friend, and ASB will deliver the grams tomorrow. This is a great way to kick off the spring season.
Today was also the principal's list donut party for all 7th and 8th grade students with all A's for the 3rd quarter. Each student received a certificate and a BJH principal's list pencil. We also had a super fun lunch game to get in the holiday spirit. ASB hosted an egg relay race where students participated in an egg relay to complete the most challenges with a bunch of eggs. It was so much fun to see so much excitement on our campus.
The week of April 18th, 7th graders will be completing their 7th grade registration form to choose their classes for next year. That same week will be track and field signups to anyone that wants to join the final sport of the year.
On April 21st, ASB will be having another cleanup day in honor of Earth Day to help make our campus shine. The next day, we will be having the Battle of the Grades, where each grade will wear a different shade of blue to see which grade has the most spirit and to celebrate Mother Earth.
On April 28th, we'll have minimum day in preparation for open house. Parents and students will get to explore the campus and check out the book fair in the library, and also bid at the silent auction hosted by PTA.
That's all we have for now, but we'll be back soon to report on all the exciting things happening around the school. We hope everyone has a great spring break.
Any questions?
Any questions? No, we're really happy to see you again and have a great spring break.
Thank you.
Thanks, girls. Okay, Brea Linda High School, Cassie. Is Cassie in the house? Oh, you're hiding back there. Come on up, Cassie.
I have to apologize. My voice is raspy because I just came back from track meet, but we're going to do great. Good evening, school board. Our 8th grade visit in March went really well. I had the chance to be at the elective fair where future or current Bobcats could walk around the quad and see the various clubs we offer. I answered many questions and it was really great to see future Wildcats. Seniors had Disney Do-A-Day this past Friday where we saw some amazing and creative costumes. Also, the class of 2022 had the chance to enjoy some churros at lunch, a Disneyland must. Our robotics team is doing absolutely amazing. I won't go into too much detail because I know they're here and they have a lot to say themselves, but I want to say that we are very excited for how far this club has progressed. AP testing begins Monday, May 2nd and will go until Friday, May 13th. We are also excited to announce this year's prom will be at the Tustin Ranch Golf Course on May 14th, and the theme is an evening of enchantment. This year's court includes seniors Sam Allred, Brian Armis, Peyton Gates, Asmi Dillon, Gracie Johnson, Matthew Dupre, Clara Lee, Amelia Gonzalez, Stacy Rodriguez, Nolan Gonzalez, Olivia Swindle, and Jeffrey Wallace. Our high school musical themed rally was a great success. We were able to recognize our spring sports and performing arts groups. We concluded our last rally with amazing performances from dance production, cheer, and color guard. On March 18th, we held our first stag dance back. It was for MORP. Many students dressed up for the neon occasion and had a great time. Our dance production is performing their annual spring concert in the high school PAC last night, and they have another show tonight. They have been preparing for the show for a while now, and we are excited to see the amazing talent. Choir is continuing to rehearse for their last competition, which is this Saturday. They are also getting their music ready for their spring show. Our choir team is doing amazing right now. They are currently in stunt season. They competed against Fullerton and Costa Mesa on March 29th and won against Fullerton with a score of 15-1. On April 1st, they competed against La Mirada twice and won both times. As a first-year high school team, our stunt team is doing really, really well, and we are looking forward to their next competition on April 18th against Villa Park and Costa Mesa. For our spring sports, boys volleyball has an away game tonight against Yorba Linda High School. Baseball has an amazing opportunity to play at the Angel Stadium last week. This was such a great experience, seeing all the pictures and just how much fun they had. We are super proud of the team. Softball is playing a league game tonight against El Medina. The team is slowly getting better and coming together, and they are hoping to finish their last month strong. Track is currently undefeated in league for the boys and girls JV and varsity teams. Today we had a dual meet against Canyon High School, and tomorrow two varsity team or varsity girls relays, including myself, will be attending the Arcadia Invitational. This is considered one of the most competitive meets in the country, and we are super excited to compete. Both girls and boys swim teams have been doing really well this year. They had a meet yesterday against Villa Park. And finally, for boys golf, their next match is April 11th against Foothill High School, and we wish them the best of luck. And finally, I want to announce that next year's ASB School Board representative is Audrey Pagano, and she was able to attend today's meeting. She's right here. So if you want to say something.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody, I'm the newly elected.
Can you come up to the microphone? We want to check you out. Yeah, introduce yourself. Tell us a little about yourself.
Hi, I'm Audrey Pagano. I'm currently a junior this year, but I was the newly elected school board rep. So you'll be seeing a whole lot more of me next year. Super excited to work with you all, and I hope that I could do this position justice and fill Cassie's shoes. So thank you very much.
Any questions? Or
Any questions? Comments, questions? No, you never leave any stone unturned. Thank you,
you.
Cassie. All right, and okay, with that, we have our next show, the Falcon Academy of Science and Technology, also known as FAST. Come on up. And any parents who want to video or take pictures, please go ahead and stand back here. I know you always look shocked. I promise every school does it. So come on down and get a front shot of your kiddo if you want to.
Good evening. Thank you, school board, for inviting us to come live in person again, which is so nice. We haven't done this for 2 years, to allow us to speak about all the great things that are happening at the Falcon Academy. I wanted to start off with this picture because it shows all of our students at one of our SOAR assemblies, which you guys will see. But I love this picture. It was taken from a drone. We roped in a high school student that probably ditched class, sorry, Josh, and came to our SOAR assembly and took this shot. And I love it because it just shows the unity of our school. This is what our SOAR assemblies look like. And really it's in this presentation because it's a goal of mine for next year. We want to have some, well, you'll hear about this, some after school activities. And one of them is we were thinking about having a drone class. And so our goal is to have one of our own students take this picture for our next presentation. So that's a goal in there. I wanted to start off with some statistics about our school, which are really, really positive. We are increasing our enrollment at the Falcon Academy. And in a normal year, we typically have about 2 classes per grade level, but we added several staff members and we added several classes because of our numbers increasing. We had to add another half of a kindergarten class. We have 2 straight classes and we had a combo class with our kinder and TK. So we added a half a kinder. We added a new 2nd grade class and 2nd grade teacher this year. We added a new 3rd grade class and a 3rd grade teacher this year. And then our upper grade is really have high numbers. So we were allowed to hire another teacher and we ended up making a 5-6 combo. So we have 2.5 5th grades and 2.5 6th grades. And we also added one more ed specialist. So we have 3 mild mod ed specialists at the Falcon Academy, along with our mod severe program. So we have, just really expanded. We anticipate increasing, which is a great thing. It's a problem because, the problem that we all have, and it, is space. So part of our space problem will be alleviated by the dropping of our portable for our new kinder class, but we're still going to be tight. So that's just something that you guys will get to figure out in the coming months. Oh, it's not working. Oh, later. Oh. Thank you. All right, school overview. This shows our distribution of ethnicity and also our English learners, students. So you can take a look at that, those graphs. We have 12.5% EL learners, and I really like the 10.4% RFEP numbers, meaning these are the kids that get reclassified every year by making great progress, and so we're proud of that number. I'm going to now introduce and have we have a really amazing group of student leaders. I have with me, our student council is really active at our school, and I brought 3 of our amazing kids here. They're going to talk to you about student council and specifically about our coding program. So come on up.
Good evening, school board. My name is Alex Charleston, and I am a student council representative in 6th grade. We have had a great year so far. This year feels like a normal year, and we were able to bring back some of our favorite Falcon traditions that we have been missing. Our Falcon Student Council consists of 17 5th and 6th grade students under our advisor, Mrs. Kalaji, 2nd grade teacher. We meet after school twice a month to plan school events. Our student council makes to plan activities for our students to make the school year fun. Some of our traditions are SOAR assemblies. Every other month, we have school-wide assemblies where we honor special SOAR students, have friendly grade level competitions, give out special surprises, and are entertained by our own choir. Our Falcon mascot is always in attendance. Some examples of our class competitions include the mummy wrapping contest, the balloon relay race, and the hula hoop contest. We also have spirit dress up weeks, and the student council sponsors spirit days where students dress up. Some of these days include the PJ Day, Holiday Dress Up Day, and the Hat Day. We also support the PTA Red Ribbon Week and the Kindness Week activities. We also count Spirit Wear weekly, and we hold weekly competition for the Spirit Key earned by wearing Spirit Wear on Fridays. The morning messages where we announce birthdays, recite the pledge, and make weekly announcements. We also advertise school events, and we have our own fundraisers. At the open house on Tuesday, the student council sponsored the fundraiser with Kona Ice. We use the money for supplies, for activities, and maybe a party at the end of the year. Hello, I'm Evelyn Nethers. I'm a fifth grader in student council at Falcon Academy. We put together some Code to the Future fast facts. As you can see from the data, Falcon Academy has provided exciting opportunities for coding. The QR codes on the back of the handout will take you to the showcases in our student projects. I hope you take the time to go through our program. We are in our third cycle of coding. In fact, some may say we are clearly soaring through code this year. Students started coding the second week of school and we haven't stopped yet. During trimester 1, TK kindergarten and first grade created more than 243 projects alone. For grades 2 through 6, we created well over 1,000 Scratch projects. In the second trimester, we focused on robotics, and this last trimester, we are working on coding in Minecraft. Coding is definitely becoming our second language.
Good evening. My name is Naima Lino. Each of our cycles have come to a close with a special event we call a showcase. Mrs. Thorson and Dr. Martin, along with our teachers, have worked to help us showcase our talents, both virtually and physically. As we stated in the last slide, on the back of the handout, you can scan the QR codes, access the video and websites for each of our 2 completed showcases. I really like seeing my friends' projects, and personally, I was impressed to see what our younger grades were able to code. From Lego houses to we do cars and helicopters, engineering is built into our program. Robots are made of moving and non-moving parts, so understanding those parts really helps to grasp how our robots can be coded. Although parents couldn't come on campus for either showcases, we enjoyed having district VIPs walk around to see what we were able to accomplish. Our cycle 3 will be at the end of the year, and we hope you will be able to attend our celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, we're going to talk about some of our school-wide academic performance data. I wanted to show this first slide. We have, we're utilizing, obviously, iReady data. We don't have CASP data. We haven't taken that test for a couple of years. And so what I want to point out, these are our diagnostic tests for iReady from 2020 and 2021 in English, language arts, and math. And diagnostic 1 is taken at the beginning of the year in September. And you can see, obviously, we want this data shows students that are meeting or exceeding grade level standards based on their iReady scores. So we start off, English language arts is typically always higher than our math scores district-wide. And we want to see obviously an increase in the percentage of students that are meeting or exceeding grade level standards, which we did. It started off at 57% reading, but jumped till the end of the year at 75%. This year, our first diagnostic is a little bit lower. Keep in mind the diagnostic for 2021 was done under conditions that we were virtual at the time. And so those testing conditions are a little bit different than when we are here in live in person where our teachers are proctoring. So we started at 48%, but I'm liking the big jump that we had in diagnostic 2. From 40 to 65 in the language arts. In math, we started off lower at 34%, meeting or exceeding, but then made a big jump. So I'm really looking forward to our diagnostic 3 data. And hopefully we know that we've got a job ahead of us. We've been working really hard on interventions, knowing our kids have had learning loss throughout these past 2 years. And so we have a challenge ahead of us, and we're working through that challenge right now. So lots of work to do. Another way to look at the same data is looking at students that are below grade level standards. So we want those numbers to decrease over time. So we started off, as you can see, from the 2021 at a high level of 18%, not meeting data, but then, not meeting grade level standards, and ending up at 8%. In math, we started off at 14 and ended up at 7%. This year, we started off a little bit lower of less students not meeting grade level standards, so that's good. And we reduced it in both English language arts and math to 10%. So obviously we want it to go even lower, and that's what we're here for. All right, and how are we doing that? We work really hard, as you all know, in our PLCs. That's when our teachers work really together. We have collaboration time to figure out those 4 essential questions that drive our PLCs, which are, what do we want our students to learn? How do we know they're learning it? And the most important one is, what do we do when they're not? How do we respond when they're not learning? This year, the Falcon Academy really looked at our math standards, the priority standards. We worked with research-based materials from Achieve the Core, who has very recent data as to the unfinished learning. What does that affect? How does that affect the students? And really those standards that we should be prioritizing. So we did a lot of work analyzing those standards, really knowing those standards, and then working on that, on the math, and then thinking of interventions and what can we do for those kids to help boost them up and bridge that gap that they're in. So, we have our software that we have with iReady. We recently purchased Reflex Math, and then we also have curriculum resources. Overall student interventions, not just math, we have our reading specialist, and that is a huge impact on our students. I think that is one of the biggest areas of interventions that have made the most impact on our students. And we've seen really great growth. And it's so wonderful that we now have full-time reading specialists at every elementary site. A huge impact. So thank you for that. We also obviously have small group instruction. We're really trying to encourage our teachers to do some before and after school tutoring. We are starting after spring break at the Falcon Academy. It's our iReady and our Reflex math club before school. We're a late start school, so we have lots of time. So we're trying to get those kids in and give them some extra time on those computer programs in our library. Had a really late start. That was our goal for this year, to try to get those things going, but COVID really put a damper on all of that. So we're gonna see, put it in place after spring break, see how it works, get the kinks out so that we are ready to start at the beginning of next year with that in place right away. We have our elementary counselors and our registered behavior techs that help the kids, because the biggest impact that we have seen in all of our principals in every school, you guys have seen it too, is the impact on SEL on all of our students. And we knew that going into this year, that that's going to be a really big focus for us. It's going to be a really big need. And we have so many more resources this year than we've ever had before to meet those needs of those students. Obviously we have Care Solace, and I will tell you that that's just a picture of my dashboard that I have, but I will tell you that I'm so impressed with the speed in which they support our families and provide resources for them and choices of caregivers, or that the parents then go out and choose, but they do the legwork for them. Because before Care Solace, we have so many kids that need that, mental health help. And the parents have been so frustrated because the waiting lines to get your child seen or to get an appointment, or they're really getting the runaround. So I think this has been a huge, huge support for our district. And I've just seen great things happen. We also are continuing our zones of regulation. We do a lot of work with that with our littles and even our 6th graders about those thinking about their emotions, thinking about how they're feeling. We have daily check-ins. It's a focus for us, but it's going to continue over the next year. Obviously, we have our MTSS programs. And then the elementary counselor, they started at my site in December, and she has made a really big impact. We were able to get social skills groups going. We have 5 groups in each grade level that support 23 students, and that's huge. Even in the past, when our psychs were doing that, they could get one or two groups going at a time and not very many kids because of the the testing and the assessments that they do. So the fact that we have the elementary counselors that are just designated to meet the needs of those students has been fantastic. And the counselor that we have at Falcon, she has made a really big impact. I've had a couple of situations where the kids have really sought her out. They've asked to see her. She's very visible on our campus when she's there. She's only there like 2 and 3 days a week, but she's made a big impact. People want to go see her. And in addition to that, she also has done a lot of whole group activities. She has come up with whole group lessons that have to do with bullying or anti-bullying and zones of regulation, thinking about, your emotions. Our upper grades, she's talked a lot about social media and the negative impact and self-awareness and that kind of thing. And she's really made, it's really resonated with our students. So she has been a great support for us. This is, part of every MTSS school, we take a look at discipline data. And this is a very strange slide, in my opinion. It's a weird way to separate out your discipline data. I'll explain how to read it. It is those dates in there, it's for August. So basically in August of 2021, we had 3 incidents happen that they were either written up by a major or a minor report. And the 23-20, those are just the dates that it happened. So it's August 23rd, there's 1. August 25th, there was 1 incident. August 26th, there was 1. So that's why it's odd. It doesn't look like there's 23 incidents in one day. We are like at this wild school that we need gang suppression. No, it's 3 incidents. In September, it's different because you'll see the darker ovals with the number inside. So basically in September, on September 3rd, we had 1 incident. On September 8th, we had 3. That's what that is. But what's unique about this data is, number one, we went into this year knowing that this is going to be a year like no other. Last year was a year like no other, but we know that this year was a year like no other. And this really proves it because there's always a honeymoon period when you start school with discipline. There's nobody doing anything wrong. And we knew, and this is when our teachers are given so much grace to these kids because we knew they were going to come in. Some of them had not stepped foot in a classroom. Some of them, barely stepped foot in a classroom. And they really, our teachers all across the board talked about, oh my gosh, these kids don't know how to listen. They don't know how to sit still. We knew that we would have to go back and really reiterate our expectations and our rules. But to see this many incidents, like September being the crazy month of a lot of behaviors, that's really unusual. So it's just a snapshot into the beginning of the year. We're getting back to normal, but I think it shows you in black and white that it's just a very, very different year and kids are really struggling, and we're going to look forward to next year being really more normal, but it's just interesting data I find. And, normally we'd see craziness in, April. We know April's coming, we're here. And that's when usually you see a lot of incidents there getting spring fever, and May is the same, but it's very unusual to have all of those in September. So I thought I'd share that little interesting fact for you. One of the things that I am proud of at the Falcon Academy, and something that's very, very important to us, is our student recognition. It's part of our MTSS program, but it's also because we want students to be proud of their, take ownership of what they're doing, and to be take ownership of what they're doing. And we want to have lots of different ways in which we recognize our students. And I think we do a really good job at the Falcon Academy. We have our SOAR cards, which I know a lot of the districts have. They earn them from making good choices. They earn them from maybe doing something well academically, being a good friend, picking up trash, lots of different ways. And then the SOAR card comes out on Fridays. And that is something where they can exchange their SOAR cards for prizes. And that is very favorite activity and the kids love it. And that's really fun. We have our teachers do shout outs. So I do a Monday message. The student council also has announcements. And then we single out students from every classroom and they get shout outs for, just having a positive attitude or just really working hard. So they get another opportunity to shine. Then we have a raffle for our SOAR cards. Our School Spirit Fridays are fun, and we have our SOAR assemblies. And then also we have lunch with our teachers. So our teachers every trimester choose a special student that they, within their pod, will have lunch with. And it's just a special time. The kids love it. It's, really a great bonding time. Kids are chosen for a bunch of different reasons, and we provide lunch for them. And it's just a really nice activity. Mrs. Torres leads that, and we're really happy to have that. And then we have our You Are Amazing postcards. And so you guys, we send these home to students, and I think that's always fun to get real mail. And teachers fill these out. You guys are amazing. So you're getting an amazing postcard today. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much.
So it's fun to have that in the mailbox. We like that as a way of student recognition. So thank you guys. And the last slide is just talking about like what do we want to do at the Falcon Academy? What do we want to continue? What good work do we want to do? And thoughts for next year. So we really are, like I said, proud of our student recognition practices. I'm proud of the fact that we have a team approach to our students at risk. We call them collaborative intervention meetings. They are basically our kids to watch. We have a team of staff that we talk about interventions and different ways we can help these students, and we watch them all year. And we provide interventions and, different interventions. So they're on our focus for sure. We also obviously have our PLC focus that we will continue, and all of our interventions. Next year, looking forward, what I would really like to see is a much more increase of our family involvement. We really weren't able to do what we thought we were going to be able to do this year with COVID, and we still feel like we aren't as welcoming as and have some of the events that we've had a lot of our parents participate in. We're getting better. Parents are able to come in and, watch our jogathon and our SOAR assemblies, but we really want to be able to really open the doors and welcome them and have more opportunities for parents to be involved. I had this in there because I wrote one of the SEL grants from the Orange County Department of Ed. It was an opportunity to get a $9,000 grant. And I just got an email today that I didn't get it. So I should have taken that off, but we will still focus on our professional development and with our SEL focus. That was really disappointing, but oh well. The only 9 schools in the whole county were going to get that award. So I don't know who got it. It wasn't me. We will be increasing our tutoring opportunities, hopefully. And again, starting our iReady and our Reflex Math Club earlier, really expanding our restorative practices. We have several teachers that are trained in restorative practices. I think it's a great program to have in class in our school, and hoping to get all of our teachers some professional development on that. And then really hoping to get some along our lines of our focus with the coding and technology is our after school enrichment opportunities. We normally have the robotics club, but we weren't able to do that this year. I want to have the drone club. We have lots of things in store that we have planned. Mrs. Thorson and I have really good plans up our sleeves. And also, I really wanted to partner with our secondary schools, with the junior high and the high school, with them, the engineering and the IT pathways. I think our students would just love to see the robotics club in action, and we would love to have you guys come in and help our students. And so that's a goal for next year. Thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing us to come in.
Are there any questions?
I just wanted to say thank you for providing feedback on the programs like Care Solace, so that we know, we've made an investment, that it's actually paying off. So thank you for providing that feedback.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you.
Anything?
Yeah. I just wanted to say great job to the public speakers. I know for kids, sometimes it's a little nervous, but you guys did a fantastic job. And I will quote your shirt, everything is awesome at Falcon Elementary. I agree.
How about this side? Anything from either of you?
A great job. It was awesome to see it in practice the other night at your open house. So fun to see the classrooms and just remembering, in the primary grades, being aware that some of those kids had not had an open house in the primary grades, so they were very excited. The rooms were abuzz for sure.
Oh, they were. We had a great turnout, so that was
Yeah,
great.
you had a
So
fantastic.
we
Was it the
did.
snow cones or what was it?
Well, we had Kona ice, and I
Kona
hope
ice.
I think it was the work of the kids were the draw, but yeah, that was just a little aside. But yeah, we had Kona ice,
It
and
was great to do
that was fun. Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming.
Anything? Nope. Thank you, Karen. And thanks, kiddos. All right. What was that?
President Flanders, would you like a photo with the?
Do you
Falcon
want to,
student?
do you guys want a picture? Come in the mush pot. Come in here. Let's do it with them. There's not very many of them. Let's do it with them, guys. All right. Let's see here. Okay, moving along. We have the board committee reports. Let's see, turn my page. Let's start with Nicole Collett for BEF.
Brea Education Foundation has been attending the open houses. So they've been having a table and making connections with community members. They're really focusing on trying to find people to be on an advisory board. That's the plan moving forward, to have an advisory board that meets quarterly. So making those connections and getting out the word about the golf tournament. BreaEdFoundation.org is the website if anybody's interested in signing up to golf or for being a sponsor. Great things happening at BEF.
Next up, we have, we skip over this one. Sorry, Paul and Dina. There's nothing for you to do. Gail Lyons for North Orange County ROP.
Our meeting is actually next week, so I don't really have a lot to report other than we have our, where we have been having our interviews for celebration of success. So the kiddos that have done over and beyond, and it will be celebrated for their achievements in CT and ROP classes. So each high school has nominees and then we interview them, and it's just been an amazing week of listening to what kids are doing in high school as their auxiliary things to fill in their gaps. It's really amazing. So I'm very proud of our kiddos. So I'll be able to share names on that next time.
All right, let's go to Dina, PTA and PTO Council.
All right, so we had our PTA Council meeting on March 29th. Aero Vista reported their jogathon made $31,000 and they will be able to have assemblies, donuts, ice cream, pizza party to celebrate the success. They raised over, if the class raised over $700, 10% of the earnings from that class was given to the teacher to be used on classroom needs. 2 assemblies are coming up, a laser show and Razzle Bazzle Boom, and they will have their roundup tomorrow. Laurel had their jogathon on March 11th and they raised $44,000. The centennial celebration was a huge success. All the kids and staff wore turquoise t-shirts. Decades themed stations were placed around the school for students to visit the different themes. I Love Lucy, Art Deco, craft making, and open house and spring break are coming up. Country Hills reported that they had completed their nominations for next year. Most of them are co-chairs, which shows that parents want to get involved next year. They purchased the microphones and headsets for students with the fundraiser money. A tricycle and playground kitchen were purchased for TK and Kender, and science lessons are being completed for 4th and 5th grade, and open house was last week. Mariposa had a bingo night, which was a great success. 270 people attended, ended up making a small profit off of it, which was not the intention. Upper grade science is all wrapped up. Spring dance will be on May 6th under the stars, and a family fun night is scheduled for May 13th. Olinda's Jogathon was a great success. Slate for next year is completed. They will have a family fun night coming up, which will use the money that they've earned from the Jogathon to celebrate and thank the families from Olinda. Angels Night is in the planning, and they are excited to finalize playground structure and equipment. Brea Junior High reports getting ready for graduation. 8th grade dance is in the planning stages, and 8th graders are planning on going to Knott's on March 26th. And then our next meeting will be on April 19th at the district office at 9 a.m. And one last thing, that this is parent driven, Love BOUSD. So if you've heard about Love Brea, a parent came up with Love BOUSD, and it's going to be a district-wide kindness day. And so it is April 22nd. And it's going to be in combination with the Orange County Department of Ed 1 billion acts of kindness. So we're asking parents, families, community members to support all of BOUSD employees, because the last 2 years have been tough and there are so many people behind the scenes. And so this flyer will start probably being publicized in the next week or so, maybe when we get back from spring break. So expect to help make posters, help make signs, write thank you notes, and just really support everybody, because this was a huge group effort the last 2 years. So yeah, that's exciting news.
Great.
So that's all.
All right. Thank you, Dina. For me, same with Gil, my school board association meeting. My Orange County School Board Association meeting is not till next week. So nothing to report on that. But most of you probably as board members have seen that the delegate assembly has been voted on, and the winners are, well, I'm going to read all 24. These are the delegates for our region 15 in Orange County. Alfonso Alvarez in Santa Ana, Lauren Brooks Irvine, Carrie Buck, Placentia Yorba Linda, Judy Capistrano, Bonnie Castry, Huntington Beach, Lynn Davis, Tustin, Jackie Philbeck, Anaheim, me here, Karen Freeman, Placentia Yorba Linda, Ira Glaske in Irvine, Diana Hill in Los Alamitos, Al Jabbar in Anaheim Union, Candy Kern in Cypress, Martha McNichols in Capistrano, Charlene Meteor in Newport Mesa, Arturo Montez in Centralia, Terry Rocco in Garden Grove, Lynn Wynn in Garden Grove, Anna Maria Randall Trejo is Anaheim Union, and Rigo Rodriguez in Santa Ana, Michael Simmons in Huntington Beach, Susie Schwartz in Saddleback, and the new member that won is Barbara Schulman in Saddleback. She's a brand new delegate. So those are our delegates that won. We voted on them, I think, 2 meetings ago, maybe. So I thought it would be appropriate to read out who won. So that concludes our board reports. Let's move to association reports and start with Glenda Bartel from BODA. Sorry, I should have read where you were from. Brea Linda Teacher Association, BODA.
All right, good evening. For my report this evening, I am officially sunshining the opening of negotiations for the 2022-23 school year. And at this time, we are still completing our member survey. So we are opening all articles. While we know that we will not be making changes in all articles, we do acknowledge that there may be language and date changes and possibly other changes due to new laws that may be necessary as we go through the process. Our main focus will be on salaries and health and welfare, as well as some areas of working conditions that need to be addressed. We will have more detailed information when we come together, and we will be presenting our specific interests at that time. We do very much appreciate the district's willingness and cooperation to work through areas of not only mutual interest, but also BODA-specific and district-specific concerns. So we look forward to setting some dates and getting the process started on another negotiation cycle. And that will conclude my report for this evening.
Thank you, Glenda. All right, you're getting claps. The kiddos. Union reps don't get claps. Can you guys come every single month? All right, with our CSEA, California State Employee Association, Liz Santos. Lisa Santos. I said Elizabeth, Liz.
Elizabeth, but
Yeah.
I go by Lisa.
Okay.
So
Welcome, Lisa.
good evening, school board members. So I wanted to talk about our process that we have just been going through for the last probably 10 sessions, I think it was, that we worked with the district in the process of negotiating a contract for our reopener. And we voted on that on Wednesday. And so it was a great process. And so I wanted to thank the district and the district team for a great communication. So, but as I talk further about classified, I just wanted to say, you know, this was also a unique year. And we've learned that classified workers are essential in this district. I think we have about 374 classified individuals. I represent classified who are not teachers and not management, so all others. You know, bus drivers, custodian, maintenance, food service workers, office staff, support. And so this has been a really tough year. We've managed to come out strong, and with the district and with the great employees that we have in the classified area and the departments, I think we have proven that we're here for the students, for the community, for the staff, the teachers. And so together we're a great team. So I just wanted to say that is my report, and that as always, I want to advocate for my membership. And so my membership came out strong and voted, and we are excited about that process. So thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Any questions about anything? No?
No, it's not really a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along. We have our deputy superintendent report. And this would also be the time, if you had blue cards, to start getting them in. So, oh, here it comes. No, it's like a magic. All right, so Brenda, you're up.
Okay, thank you very much. President Flanders, board members, and community who are here tonight. As you know, I always like to start off my report by reflecting on either our mission, our vision, or our values. And so tonight I would like to call attention to our core value of engagement, which is defined as we value a community of authentic collaborators to maximize student success. And that's a very important value of ours, as was demonstrated with our Falcon presentation tonight. So I appreciated hearing from Karen and those 3 students. I'd also like to congratulate CSEA on ratifying the TA with their unit. So that's a lot of hard work. And I also appreciate the collaboration with both associations, but thank you. It seemed like a long year, but we got it done. So thank you. And then I'd like to recognize our district nurse, Natalie DePorto. The Orange County School Nurses Organization was recently honored with the American Academy of Pediatrics Orange County Chapter 2022 Community Champion Award. And as you've heard me talk the last 2 years, Natalie has done such an incredible job with her staff, you know, our health clerks at our school sites, my staff in human resources, Annette with our dashboard, and so many hands on deck dealing with the pandemic. And Natalie and the other nurses in Orange County will be recognized formally at the 8th Annual Cards for Kids Gala and Fundraiser at Pretend City Children's Museum on Saturday, April 23rd. So Natalie, if you're listening tonight, thank you so much for everything you do for our students and staff. Yeah, we can clap for Natalie. For our elementary accolades tonight, I would like to congratulate 11 Olinda Eagles for winning the Orange County Regional National History Day competition. They will all be moving on to the state competition in May at William Jessup University in Rockland, California. They literally swept the elementary school categories, which was a group poster, individual poster, and the inaugural podcast category, which was super cool. Phil and I met one of the parents last night at Olinda, and she was bragging about her child and pointed out the podcast. So I know we'll listen to those. But Jill Berner is the teacher who oversees History Day. And what did you say, Phil? That's collegiate level work that Jill Berner has in that combo class right now. So yeah, she's also our district teacher of the year, as you know. So just incredible work. If you go by her classroom, it'll be on display. And then we do have at the secondary level 3 of our high school students honored as recipients of the 2022 NCWIT Aspirations in Computing Awards. So we have 3 students who were recognized. Yes, congratulations. Yeah. This was really cool when this came across my desk. 3,500 9th through 12th grade women applicants were nominated for their computing related achievements and interests and encouraged them to pursue their passions. Award recipients were selected based on their aptitude and aspirations in technology and computing, as demonstrated by their computing expertise, computing related activities, leadership experience, tenacity in the face of barriers to access, and plans for post-secondary education. So I thought that was super cool at the high school. And then we were so pleased to recognize Ben Banning at the AXA Region 17 Every Student Succeeds Awards ceremony. So that was fun. You guys remember Ben as our BCHS student rep. And then last month, our high school also competed against 43 Orange County schools in the annual Science Olympiad. 2 medals were awarded in the categories of ping pong parachute and cybersecurity. So I'd like to see the ping pong parachute event. And then another Brea Olinda High School student was one of 92 students nominated for the 2022 Artist of the Year in Handcrafted Visual Arts. So I look forward to seeing the winners on April 24th at ocregister.com. And then we also have another student who placed 9th in the state on the 2 pharmacology examinations at BOHS's first appearance at the HOSA Future Health Providers State Leadership Conference. And so that's one of our ROP programs that we have at our school. So that was exciting for the student to place well. And the last thing, you mentioned it, Dina, already. Love Brea is on April 23rd. It's a Saturday. We encourage everyone to sign up on lovebrea.org. We have 6 of our schools that will be partnering with the community to improve and beautify our campuses. So it'll be a great Saturday morning. So thank you.
So good job. They want to clap for you too. So take a breath, and Brenda, please tell us all about the recognitions coming up.
There's several recognitions tonight, and we do select these very carefully. They're all so important. And the first recognition we have is Public School Volunteer Week, the week of April 18th through April 22nd. And we know that it takes a village to educate our students, and we couldn't do it without our school volunteers. And this week is to honor our families and our schools and highlight the powerful contributions parents and caregivers provide at school and home to support our students' success. We can't thank our volunteers enough for dedicating their time to our schools and our district, and the work is very much appreciated. Keep going. Okay. We also have our Administrative Professionals Day. I know everyone's like, spring break's right there. Keep going. It's all right. I love all of these recognitions, but our Admin Professionals Day is April 27th. So my 2 male colleagues over there, take note, April 27th. Yes. They leave it. I know. We can't do without our admin assistants. I know those 2 really can't, we all need them, but see what I work with. I love those guys, but I love our admin professionals even more. So we will be honoring our staff on Wednesday, April 27th. Our professionals' duties include office management, answering the phone, clerical work, speaking with clients, data entry, record maintenance, and keeping them on track. So that's great. And following that day, we have our School Principals Day on May 1st. So we'll be recognizing all of the hard work that our principals do for the betterment of school and district. They do help our students achieve more. They manage our students and teachers, living up to the expectations of our parents and communities, as well as aiming to make their school better in all ways. We do have really amazing principals in this district, and I'm just so honored to be a part of their team.
That's a Sunday. Do we get to celebrate them on that Monday?
We will celebrate them on Monday.
Okay.
The 2nd. Yes. I know if I asked them to come to work on a Sunday, it'd be like crickets, right?
We'll come to your houses.
Yeah, we'll come. And then, of course, we have our National Teacher Appreciation Week, which is celebrated the first week in May. The pandemic has really ushered in a new way of teaching and learning, and I know we won't go back to business as usual before the pandemic. So we continue to evolve, and our teachers certainly demonstrated great attitudes and just helping our kids move through a virtual to a hybrid learning environment and then being in person, always staying innovative and learning. And our teachers have been a heart of it all. And I know Gail, you mentioned the buzz at Falcon the other night, and you could just feel it in the room. Our parents were so excited to be on campus. And then I think Linda last night told us he had about 1,000.
It was crowded.
Yeah, it was crowded, but it was great. So thank you very much to our teachers. And we can't forget our school nutrition employees. Our school nutrition employee week coincides with National Teacher Appreciation Week, also the first week in May. And we really value our food service workers, right? I know Robin's here. She's so giddy. I had the pleasure of working with Robin one summer serving food, and it was great. I really appreciated that time getting to see them in action. And she did not let Rick work with us. If you're seeing their little interaction, that's what that meant. Rick was not allowed to work with us, but they're really amazing. As I think Robin will talk later and Rick will share later on in some action items. I know I need to hurry up, but our food service to our students has really increased this year, and Stephanie's here. So under Stephanie's guidance, I just remembered you're hanging out with us tonight. They're doing amazing work with limited staff. It has been a monumental undertaking, but Stephanie makes sure that every single one of our students are fed, and Robin is such a key part of that process. And so I look forward to celebrating our nutrition employees. And then to close out our recognitions this month, we have our Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, and it is a celebration of Asians and Pacific Islanders in the United States. The first 10 days of May were originally chosen to coincide with two important milestones in Asian Pacific American history: the arrival in the United States of the first Japanese immigrants on May 7th, 1843, and contributions of Chinese workers to the building of the Transcontinental Railroad completed May 10th, 1869. And in 1992, Congress expanded the observance to a month-long celebration that is now known as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, no presentations tonight or discussion or direction. And it's time for public comments. During the public comments portion of the meeting or during any agenda item, there's an opportunity for the public to speak. The public has been asked to complete and submit a blue public comment card prior to this portion of the agenda. Anyone addressing the board should first state their name and association with the district. Public comment speakers and the audience are expected to abide by the board policy 1313 civility, which promotes mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct among district employees, parents, and the public. This policy is not intended to deprive any person of his or her right to freedom of expression, but only to maintain, to the extent possible and reasonable, a safe, harassment-free environment. Any individual who disrupts or threatens to disrupt school or office operations, threatens the health and safety of the student or staff, willfully causes property damage, uses loud and or offensive language, which could provoke a violent reaction, or has otherwise established a continued pattern of disruption, will be directed to leave the meeting. Public members who address the board will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker and 30 minutes per topic. For further information, please see the agenda header. This meeting is being recorded for use in the official minutes. So I think I'm going to start with the kiddos up there who are sitting so fun and clappy. So let's see. Is that Monrith? Okay, and Sam and Caitlin, are you all three coming together down? Oh, come on down then. So I did this one first. Doing it.
Hi, I'm Sam Dizon. And I'm Caitlin Alba.
And I'm Mona Forman.
And we are from Robotics Team 7157 Robotics from Brea Linda High School. And we are a part of the first program that's for robotics. And they've been a program that's been around for more than 30 years. So we're a fairly new team. We've been around for 5. And it has quite honestly been such a fun experience seeing how much we've been able to grow throughout the past 5 years. We used to have to work out of students' garages, but now we actually have our own room down at Brea Linda High School, which is very fun. This year, we were able to compete at 3 different regionals, which are our different robotics competitions. And we actually were able to become finalists in all 3. So we were able to compete down at the Orange County Regional. And we also were able to compete at Sacramento and in LA. And we were also very fortunate enough to qualify for the World's Robotics Competition World Championships down in Houston, Texas, in Sacramento. So that's really exciting. Thank you.
So that brings us to the reason we're here. We need help with fundraising. On a usual year, our budget is about $20,000, but this year, to cover the cost for our trip to Houston, we'll need an extra $50,000 for plane tickets, hotels, vehicle rentals, registration fees, and robot maintenance. So we are a completely student-run and student-funded team, meaning that we earn our money by applying for grants and by receiving donations from our really generous sponsors. This year, we were really lucky to be supported by some big businesses like NASA and Boeing, as well as some really amazing local organizations like Brea Rotary, Brea Education Foundation, and Bridge Energy. But we still need help with reaching our goal, our fundraising goal, because our competition is coming up on April 20th, which is really soon, and we're still not there yet at the 50,000 goal. So if you are willing and if you are capable of supporting us, you can donate to us on the Brea Olinda High School website. You can find our web store there. And we appreciate any amount of donations. Any help is appreciated. And even if you can't donate, you can share our cause, our fundraiser with your coworkers, your friends, your family, anyone you can. Any way of support we would really appreciate. You can also help us by connecting us with potential sponsors or other people you think would be willing to help us. So thank you for your time and wish us luck at the Houston World Championships.
Thank you.
Good luck.
To pass some flyers.
Oh, sure. Would you give the flyers to Annette? Annette, will you do a little handshakey? And then she'll make sure we get those. Thank you, ladies. Thank you and congratulations. Yes. And they don't know this because they're not usually here, but we don't clap for speakers, and so you guys are special tonight. We're really proud of you. Next up, let's have, well, there's our Robin Lechuga.
It'll be quick. Hi. Good evening, board members. I'm here tonight to talk about the employee shortage in the food service department. I know since the beginning of COVID pandemic, all departments have struggled, but food service department has really been negatively impacted by the pandemic. Today, we have 29 food service employees compared to the 40 employees pre-pandemic. That is 11 positions needing to be filled. We have posted these positions on EdJoin, but unfortunately, no one is applying. There needs to be a change. It is not right to depend on 29 employees plus pulling employees from custodial, transportation, maintenance, and other departments to be able to meet demands and ensure every child is fed a breakfast and a lunch. A solution to this would be a longer permanent hours that would allow us to serve breakfast and be able to prepare lunch without a time strap. Our meals counts have increased this year by over 200,000 meals. Therefore, I propose an extension on shifts, namely the hours per shift, which will help meet the demand of the increased workload and help reduce other departments from sacrificing their time and efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin.
And also, I want to do a shout out, I'm so sorry, to Kelly, because she has really, really helped us.
All right. Well, you had extra time, so you could have kept talking about that. All right. And okay, next up we have Nita Kazi. There's 2 more.
Good evening. Time started. Yay, Robotics. Eigenger is one of my best friends. Love them. And yay, Jill Berner. Holy cow. She is just an awesome human being. So I wanted to educate y'all and the parents out there on 3 bills that are coming up out of like 10 horrific bills on the horizon. in California. This one is SB 1479. In case you haven't heard, it is never-ending, continuous, hold on, let's get this on the screen, testing for COVID-19 and expanding contagious, infectious, or communicable disease testing. I'm not sure what that is. AIDS, herpes, I don't know. It's a vague. And other public health mitigation for pre-K childcare and after-school care. Testing continuing, never ending. All staff, all students, all of you. And all testing will be reported back to the California Department of Health. Big brother, the state's going to track you and track you in all ways. Another bill up, SB stands for a Senate bill. Parents, wake up. These are 3 horrific things coming down the track. SB 866, authorization of minor 12 years or older can get any vaccine without parental consent. No parent consenting. How about that? Have a pizza, get a vaccine. Have a gift card, get a vaccine. Have some ice cream. Vax them on campus without your knowledge. SB 871 forces COVID vaccine to be on the long list of vaccines required for any school enrollment. Public, private, charter schools, no exemptions. Again, pre-K up to high school, public, private, childcare centers, mandatory. And this was without FDA approval. SB 871 is in committee. SB 866 is in the Judiciary Committee right now. And our last one, 1479, is in the Education Committee at this point. So they haven't been voted on. So in recap, we've got 3 things to be aware of. Let's get this. Sorry, here we go. SB 1479, infectious disease testing, all kids. Is this in my way? Hold on. There we go. All kids, all staff. SB 871, no exemptions for COVID vaccines for school enrollment from preschool on up. And then the last one, SB 866. Now, LA Unified is being sued because they gave a pizza to a 13-year-old kid vaccinated him without his parents' consent. Kid came home, had health problems. The person who gave the shot said, don't tell your parents.
Thank you, Nita.
LA
You
Unified, look
almost
it up.
made it there.
December 2021.
Next up, Linda Ryu.
Hi again. This doesn't get any easier, but I am here again to just ask you, in light of what those bills are like, asking you to please resolve to stand for the best interests of all the kids that you represent and do all you possibly can to oppose these COVID mandates and bills, particularly these that she just said, the forced vaccination requirements for school enrollment, which is SB 871, and also oppose SB 866, which would lower the age of medical consent to 12. Please take action. Write letters and stand with the children and families you represent in your schools. Please give your families the right to choose for their children. If that's the main thing, there's still choice. I mean, if they want them, they can take them. But the problem is the choice, and the right to choose is being taken away. We're asking that you as a board write a letter of resolution against SB 149 because it's still in the works, and a letter of opposition to the committees hearing SB 866 and SB 871. A letter from you, our board, will add unity and impact along with all of our own individual letters, and your families will greatly appreciate it. You have already heard month after month from many families stating the many serious concerns and objections. If you continue to take no action on students' behalf, it is obvious that you either do not care and or do not have the children's best interest in mind and the rights of these children. I and many more people that you have not met yet are making our plans for protecting our children by homeschooling. We parents and grandparents are ready to do what we have to do in order to pull our kids out of harm's way. There will be a damaging mass exodus from public schools if we don't stop these mandates and bills. It's time to get back to teaching the basics and stepping up for our children's physical, mental, and emotional safety. If these bad bills become law, it will be time to leave these schools that do not have their best interest in mind. If we can't trust you, our board members, to speak up on our behalf, you shouldn't be there, and we won't be here anymore. Our children come first. I'm prepared to homeschool my grandson if I have to. So I thank you for taking the time, letting me speak. I have 30 seconds yet. I can thank you and tell you how hard this is to do, but it's my heart for these kids and these families to have choice. So please consider supporting us with at least writing these letters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, oh, one more. Next up, we have Joseph Covey.
Good evening. I'm Joseph Covey. I am speaking on behalf of our local Brea Rotary Club, which I know our robotics friends just left, which yesterday was a very exciting day for us and our Rotary Club. We actually were able to, Mr. Porter, students were able to see from our Interact Club the things that we do. And when we talk about service above self, and we are able to we have a granting process that our schools and community members are able to apply for. And so we were able to have some granting opportunities yesterday at the Interact Club. So yesterday we gave $1,200 to Boat, $1,500 to Mock Trial. And of course, you just heard the robotics team, we were able to grant them $3,000. And so, and this is just a lot of wonderful things that we're actually able to contribute back to our fabulous school district. And as I was doing some further homework, you know, over the last 5 years, we've been able to contribute over $65,000 alone back to the district, all from our Brea Rotary Club. And some of the other programs that we've been able to give are the creation of the maker spaces for Falcon, Vista, and Country Hills. We've helped support Mrs. Kennedy in the Science Olympiad as well, and help creating the Teen Lab. Brea Canyon with their closet that they had, we contributed $2,000 to. So there's a multitude of things that we are able to contribute and give back to the community, and most importantly for the kids, to help out the teachers and help support. And which lends me to why I'm up here. It's because I want to invite each and every one of you to, on May 1st, we're having our OC Food and Wine, and it's one of our largest fundraisers to help out our community. And as I'm mentioning, a lot of those funds actually go directly back to the district. So we would love to have you. You know, it's fun. There's lots of fun giveaway things that we do, and it's fun to just be festive. And, you know, most importantly, we are in person, and we're having at the Marconi Museum. So hopefully be able to see your smiling faces there and contribute and just join in the fun. So hopefully we look forward to seeing you there. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. And that concludes our public comments section tonight. Let's see, where am I? Thank you. All right, the next up, we have approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion? Okay, Liz, do I have a second?
Second.
Colin? Any discussion or, okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, consent calendar. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Miller.
Second?
Second.
All right, Ruiz. Okay, before I'll ask if anyone has any questions on the consent. I know that item 3C, Phil was going to ask to talk to that real quick. So let's let you start, and then we'll see if we have any other board comments or questions.
Sure. Thank you, President Flanders, members of the board. We're excited that Dr. Kennedy's leadership has led her staff to wanting to adopt the iReady instructional diagnostic platform, something that we started in 2017, I believe, 2017-18 as a pilot at Laurel, and then expanded to the rest of the elementary schools throughout the district. It's going here today as a ratification because Dr. Kennedy came to us and said, I really want to start this as quickly as possible. So we jumped on it in December. And so we're just putting that under consent for your approval. You saw the work that's being done at Falcon. It's a great way to assess performance. It is what we call autopsy material data, where we're looking at, post, but at the same time, with the iReady platform, there are treatments that can be applied between diagnostics that allow the students to improve their performance. And so that's what I think makes this particular platform a strong one for our schools and for our students and for our teachers. So thank you.
Thank you. And board members, are there any comments or questions regarding any consent items?
I have a question.
Sure.
In regards to 4E for the audit, is there a reason why we approve 2 years at a time?
Yes, we do. Generally, we'd go 3 years at a time, but we only did 2 years on this cycle because, as you might know in code, that we can only have auditors, the lead auditor, the partner, for so long, for 6 years. And so Tina Henton, who's been our auditor for 4 years, is coming up on 2 more years. And at that time, they'll have to assign a new lead partner. And I thought that was a good time to shorten the length from 3 to 2. So that's why we went 2 years on this particular time.
Okay.
And this quote in here, these dollars include not only the district, but Hope. And then Hope will reimburse the district back. Okay. And yes, it is quite sticker shock sometimes, yes. But the amount of audit work, as we pointed out last time in a board presentation at our second interim, the number of requirements now for certificate for the categorical funds and grants has greatly increased the testing and of course the audit work. So, but when I looked back at this year, it's relatively about the same. And obviously costs have gone up, but it's still relatively about the same.
Okay. And then my second question was for F. Sorry if this is for Rick again, you guys. 91,000 and 85,000. So we're increasing our transportation budget.
Yes, this is for, and these resources are going to come from the ESSER 3 funds, but, and this is for special ed transportation. So these are required transportation costs written into student IEPs. And just like in our food service that a speaker talked about staffing for that department, our transportation department has also been greatly impacted by the COVID and the lack of positions that are still open. So we've necessitated us to go out to contractors to provide these services that we are required to provide.
Okay, thank you.
Any others? Let's point out that on D, we have the Robotics World Championship field trip. So that's super excited. And there are 38,600 student raised funds that we're approving. Hopefully they can get there. So, all right. With that, let's see. I have a first and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. I've got to flip some pages.
Trustees, if I could piggyback on a previous speaker that came up and talked about food service and all the demands there. I just want to give a shout out to not only Stephanie, but our speaker a little bit earlier and the, what's the stats? 29 current positions. What she passed out earlier today was a meal increase from August through the second interim reporting. That's just January, which is an increase of 236,000 meals with the staff that they have. And this month alone for March, since we did $381,000 in reimbursements. As remember, this is a no-cost program. So just a shout out to not only our speaker who was up earlier, we'll call her Robin, and of course Stephanie here. So I just want to see that there is consent items also that are reflected on food costs that no one asked, but I wanted to bring that forth before you said 5-0.
Okay,
Assuming
so
you say
back up, and that's explains what she was trying to explain to us, why. You know, I have to do the same thing you just did, and I know it's out of turn, but I have to read the donation list from the consent. So we already approved consent, so I think it's legal. I want to thank the donors this month or this board meeting. Brea Korean Sister City Association gave $400 to the Brea Linda High School Link crew. And they also gave $400 to the Brea Linda High School Korean language program. The Orange County Department of Ed gave 6,000 COVID-19 test kits to our district. So I didn't want to go without saying that. All right. Thank you. And thank you, Rick, for pausing because I had to remember to do that too. All right. Next up, we have public hearing. We're going to open and close, see if we have any. The first one is 2022-23 BOTA initial successor proposal. I'm going to open the floor to the public or anyone who wants to speak to that. So I will close it. And then next one, we have the 22-23 BOUSD initial BOTA openers. Same thing. I'm going to open that. And do you want to speak to that? I see you playing with your microphone.
I can. Thank you, President Flanders. As Glenda shared with you earlier, this is our sunshine agreement or sunshine articles for the 22-23 school year. I did briefly talk to them about the reason why we have this many articles open, but look forward to another successful season of negotiations and conversation. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Glenda, for opening and speaking on that earlier. Okay, also, oh, I have to close it. Closed. The third one, it becomes kind of funny. The third one, developer fee justification study for residential and commercial industrial developments. Does anyone want to speak to that one? I know later we have an item. Do you want to speak to it then, Rick, or now?
Yeah, trustees, I just wanted to reassure yourselves and those that are listening that we complied with the new requirements of the 30-day mandatory posting of tonight's meeting. It previously used to be 14 days. And also, I believe we linked this up on our website. If not, we'll have it do it later. We do have the affidavit of publication of our required to advertised in the Orange County Register, which was both on March 21st and 28th. Not only talking about tonight's meeting and the process, but also soliciting comment directly. And we received no comment on this also. So just wanted to make that.
And it
point
looks
of the
like we
record.
received none now either. All right, close that back up. Thank you. Okay, don't go away though, because we have third quarter report on Williams uniform complaints. Rick, do we have any complaints?
We have none.
Oh, Phil says we have none. Okay, thank you. Oh, look, I just keep wanting to hammer. And now down to our action items. All right. Superintendent's department, we have under BOMTA salary increase. I want to, there's a big boo-boo on that. So I want to read an amendment and see if I can get a first and a second on the amendment. So do you want me to do, no, I don't want a first and second on the wrong one. So I'll read the amendment. So I'm asking if there could be a first on the revised copy. The recommendation is to recommend the Board of Education approve a 3% on salary schedule salary increase and a 3% off schedule to the administrative management, classified management, confidential management, speech language pathologist, retroactive to July 1st, 2021, and one paid professional membership for 22-23. The cost is the same. There was just an error in the percentage. So do I have a motion for that amendment?
Motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay. Any comment or discussion on that?
Thank you very much, President Flanders, for reading the correction, and my apologies for the typos that were in this language. It was a carryover item from last year. However, being that we are a Me Too district, our managers, the district does request same Me Too salary increase for our administrative team, like we settle with our associations, and both of our associations, as soon as you approve item 2A, will receive the 3% on schedule, 3% off schedule. So thank you for your consideration.
Yes. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Yay. All right. Next up, CSEA contract ratification. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Reese and Lyons. Any discussion or conversation here? All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. 2022-23 district initial BOTA openers. Recommend the Board of Education approve the initial openers for the BOUSD or the BOTA for 22-23 school year as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Colin and Lyons. Great. Any questions or comments? We've discussed that already. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item C was pulled. We're at item 3A. HP service for virtual environment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Colin, a second.
Miller.
Miller. Any questions or comments? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Business services, BOUSD, is that VoIP? VoIP?
VoIP.
VoIP. Of
Voice
course it is.
over
Of course it is. Silly.
Internet protocol.
Watch this whole sentence, Raj. Ready? BOUSD VoIP conversion CUPCA project 22. That's a joke. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Lyons, do I have a second?
Second.
Ruiz. Okay, any questions or comments?
Can I make a question? So on these phone systems, this is the completion of our district, right?
Yes, finally. These are the
Okay.
last 4 sites
Okay.
that, with the district office being one of the last 4. Yes.
Okay.
yes.
And then I know some of our schools have a separate line for attendance versus the main office. Are we needing both of those lines moving forward? Because now with the new system, it,
That's a good question. We can report back out on that. I don't have the answer for that one. So,
Rick, on the system,
yes.
is there a battery backup in case we lose power?
I'm going to bring Derek to the podium. But I'm going to think he's going to say yes.
Oh, now he knows how to use a camera. No.
Wait, how does he get up there?
Hey, I got the special attention here. So to answer your question, yes, Trustee Ruiz, there is backup battery for those systems, but typically, and generally for really long periods of time, whether we're talking many, many hours, half a day, or those kinds of situations, usually most UPS backup systems won't necessarily be able to provide that depending on how much power is drawn from those units. So, but for the most part, they should be able to, and typically whenever there is a power outage situation, it's usually pretty brief.
Any others? Okay, I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, architectural design services approved, approval of pool of firms. Do I have a motion?
so moved, Miller.
Miller, second.
Second.
Ruiz. Any questions, comments? Do you want to speak?
I have lots of comments.
Oh, I can tell.
How do you ask?
Trustees, this is just a process where we send out an RFQ request for qualifications before the Christmas break, soliciting firms to give us their qualifications in response to a number of asks from the district, right? So during this process, we received 16 submissions from different firms. And we had a number of qualifications. And if I can read some of them, number one, I wanted to make sure that the RFQ was in conformance with their clarity and the completeness of their submittal, which we evaluated. They all of them had over 10 years experience in the building and renovating schools in California. They had experience that also in the school facilities. They referenced some of their work for California school facilities, in particular to middle schools and age locations. Their fees and charges and change order history, of course, was a concern of ours. Alternative funding methods. What is some of their proposals, obviously, that they can help us go after, because we know resources are always stretched thin. Past litigation the firms involved in, and of course their proposal of their project team, which includes their subcontractors and contract engineers. And I'd like to just give a shout out on a panel of 8 of us that got together and reviewed all these for 4 hours. Of course, I bought lunch. Ms. Barbara Ott, who is a retired risk manager for the district, which really she focused on, of course, past litigation, right? Mr. Brad Rung, he's the director of maintenance and operations for Placentia Yerba Linda, and he really focused in on the resources and build out and references. Mr. Kevin Hobby, who's no stranger to this dais here, past board member, and currently the director of facilities for the Garvey School District and a parent. And he was focusing on customer service, accessibility of the firm management, and reference their completed projects and resources. Mr. Wayne Carvalho, if I pronounced that right, I apologize if I didn't. Wayne, he's a senior planner for the city of Brea and focused on some of the firms and some of the sub-consultants and engineers that were listed out. Mr. Jim Bailey, PTA member, Falcon and parent, and he obviously focused on the vision of what the firms and what modernization projects that the companies have done in the past. Miss Kelly, Dr. Kelly Kennedy, principal of the junior high school, which she had her educational lens, kept us all in order, and really the project list and references and facilities. Mr. Jeff Ferrato, obviously, he's our director of maintenance, operation, transportation, focusing on closeout, of course, of projects, and myself just keeping everyone in line. But I was really interested in making sure that they had experience in historical buildings, landscaping, and what they call the LED process, which is the green building codes, and among other things. So, and also working with fiscal advisors. Tonight, there is just a request to move forward with the 3 firms that were identified: SVA Architects, PJHM Architects, and PBK WLC Architects. They were assessed by all the members I just addressed. They went through, and their proposals and submittals were in completion of our RFQ. So really what our next step is after tonight is contact these firms and start developing a scope of work. So tonight, there's really no fiscal impact of tonight's, moving forward. I want them to really develop a relationship and looking for long-term partners in our district. And it could be all 3 that will propose, get a chance, an opportunity to bid on projects. And eventually one will have to get the job, obviously, and then for them to get a good feeling of the district, and all of them in their process have identified lots of site visits and working with the board. So that's what tonight is about. It's a transparency action item and to move forward. So I'm asking for, or staff's asking for, a move forward of 5-0 on this proposal.
Great, thank you. Thank you for putting that work in, but mostly thank you for explaining it to everyone and letting us know what you've done to get where we need to get here. So I appreciate that. Any other questions for Rick on that one? Comments? Okay, so we have a first and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. You got it, Rick. Resolution 22-06, developer fee justification, school fee study. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ruiz and Lyons. Okay. Do you have any questions here for Rick on this?
Sorry, Rick.
okay.
Sorry, board, really.
This is good, Dina.
Hotel and motel went down, and so did self-storage.
I
Can you
know.
explain why?
I can't explain. We don't set, the districts in California don't set these proposed fees, right? These are set by the state allocations board.
Okay.
And this is an every 2-year process. So overall, 15% is, you can kind of do the math a little bit for everything except for hotels, motels, and self-storage. Obviously, we don't want those in Brea now. But anyway, so this is just the standard requirement, and then we will give a 60-day notice of tonight's decision, and it'll become effective, I believe, in June. So just in time for some of the projects that have been running through the city. So
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I have one. I know that this is set, not, set by the state, and then we're just approving it, but is it still negotiable when we are dealing with projects that are coming to town and developments? Or are they going to refer to this one? I know I see it went up, 60 something cents or whatever it is, 71 cents, but can we still negotiate more?
yes, this is what they call level 1 fees. There's level 2, and then there's a level 3, but we don't qualify for that in Brea, and level 3, no districts qualify. But yes, this is the floor. Obviously, this is what developers would say. That's all I owe you, right? We're talking about new development. $4.79 a square foot costs $800 a square foot to build. So kind of a mismatch. But yes, so there is other processes called mitigation agreements, where we try to say, hey, if you want us to X, therefore we would like to somehow mitigate your project and the impacts on our district. And currently there's 2 projects that are that we're speaking with.
Okay.
That I don't want to get out in front of everyone yet. So
right. Good. Well, at least the the baseline went up before we got there. So, okay, great. I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries 5-0. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Good.
Is that a roll call?
Yeah.
Well, let's do that then. All right, roll call.
Trustee Colin.
Aye.
Trustee Flanders.
Aye.
Trustee Lyons.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
And Trustee Ruiz. Resolution passes 5-0.
Sorry, Annette. We just want you to stay quiet over there for a while. Okay, next up, we have Resolution 2207, authorization to sign applications and associated documents. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Twins, okay, Miller. Ruiz. Do you have anyone, this is just obvious, this is an obvious one, but does anyone have any questions or comments on it? Oh, go ahead, Rick.
Love it. This is the best action item of the whole year, right? So basically, this is a resolution. This is kind of a housekeeping. We're removing the prior superintendent and adding myself and Deputy Superintendent Brendan Leon to sign documents that are in front of the school facility program. Currently, we have an application with the OPSC for the Olinda MUR. Yes, it's something that's still ongoing there. And now this gives us authorization to sign. And I think we're coming to a finale on this process with the Olinda MUR.
Okay, promises.
Mhm.
Thanks, Rick. And I know it's a roll call vote.
Trustee Flanders.
Aye.
Trustee Lyons.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Ruiz.
Aye.
And Trustee Colin.
Aye.
Resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you. Brenda, do you want to point anything out on the calendar? And I said earlier upstairs, there's like something on every single day from now till the end of June.
Yes, you are absolutely right. A lot of really fun events, awards, recognitions, carnivals. But coming up tomorrow is the Aero Vista Roundup. So that is a really fun event for the kiddos. And then not on the board's calendar, but I'd like to draw it to your attention is the pop-up food pantry, 9 a.m. this Saturday at Living Hope Community Church. Of course, they're ready to go. I think they have one foot out of their seats. It is spring break starting on Monday, the 11th through 15th. The district office will be open Monday through Thursday, but it is a district holiday on Friday. So I just like the public to be aware of that. And then it is open house season. It's been great to see all the families. Our Brea Online Academy is holding a virtual open house on the 19th. Laurel will be held on April 26th, Brea Canyon on the 27th of April, and Brea Junior High on the 28th. And if you have not yet purchased your ticket for Lion King Junior, hosted by Falcon PTA, held at the high school PAC, that will be held from 4/22 through 4/24. You can purchase your tickets. Of course, as you mentioned, April 22nd, Love BOUSD, District-wide Day of Kindness. The 22nd is also Earth Day, and then Love Brea on the 23rd. So thank you.
And many, many more. Okay, thank you. And we do not have a continuation of closed session. Do we have any board comments? Me too.
Yeah.
Just looking
Happy
good. I just want to
spring
say,
break.
have fun, Dina. Dina's going to the airport right now. So she's like, no comments, no comments. All right, so